half of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks, whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything. Half of Gen Z men.
Imagine millions and millions of people watching you get humiliated for content. Christy and Desmond Scott. Now Chris just filed for divorce from Desmond, citing infidelity within their marriage. But they would call their relationship goals. And I'm going to break down for you guys, and I got the receipts to prove it, the video documentation, the social media profiles to show that this is a disaster waiting to happen. Now, my analysis is less on the cheating component. We all know cheating is not right. It's immoral. It's against their vows. I don't think that masculine men should be lying. I think that masculine men should be forthright with what they want. And she does goofy things, and, you know, you could just see right there, bumps into him, and he's sitting there looking like, why am I doing this? And him in the background, t-shirt, looking confused, right? Like she didn't look at his photo at all in the selection of this thumbnail right here. But, you know, who cares about him? I'm the main character. Keep on going down. You'll see the next time that he's in it, kissing her feet while bending down and over, looking subservient. And I mean, why do photos like this have to reach public eyes? I don't know. Besides the branding of positioning her as main character, which many modern women want this branding for themselves.
This is option number one.
It's a no. You can't even go sit nowhere like that.
What do you mean, babe? We can stand at the bar. You can sit and I can stand at the bar.
I'm standing next to you, Adam.
Why? You're not proud?
Why would I be?
What is it supposed to be like before the accident? I'm in a tornado for real.
I bet you behind closed doors, he don't act like this. But it's a character that has been created that he has to now maintain.
Makes you look like a garden that got burnt. But was beautiful. Makes sense?
A garden that got burnt?
It's black flower. I haven't seen a black flower.
But you know what was the most damaging part of this? When she grabbed his face for attempting to make a joke, looks at him like he's crazy, and then grabs his face.
A garden that got burnt?
It's black flower.
As he cowers underneath her and she smiles. Young men, listen to me when I say this. This is the type of content that they want. These are the type of relationships that they want of you. This is why I continue to say that the majority of modern women today are not marriageable, because this is their standard. This is their goals. This is what they want you to amount up to. They hate this side of the internet. They hate masculinity or manhood focused content. They hate when I say anything. They hated when a Kevin Samuels would say anything. That's why they love that he, because through his, it represented their gaining of power.
Y'all know that if a woman tells you that
Just another day in the office. View discretion's advised.
she acts different on liquor, and by different, you know what I mean, different. If she tells you that she acts different on liquor and you try to get her to drink liquor, you're a right? You know that, right? Yeah, you're
Sweetheart, close your mouth when you chew. The smacking of your gum is not making your mama look like she did a good job raising you. The statement is, if a woman tells you that she acts different on liquor and you try to get her to drink liquor, that makes you a I think I only got one question. If you know you act different on liquor and you don't want to participate in your difference, why would you ever tell them? That's like me meeting a whole bunch of random women at a party and saying, yo, I love taking random women on shopping sprees when I drink. What do you think those women are going to do? I think there's a level of accountability that's not being addressed in this statement. Because yes, using someone's disadvantage to your advantage to get whatever it is that you want does make you a but I'm trying to understand, why would anybody know that that is a disadvantage for them and openly share it? That's like handing a stranger your personal bank information thinking that they won't rob you. Yeah, technically they're a thief, but why would you ever put yourself in that kind of a position is what I'm trying to You know what, man, y'all get on here want to argue about nothing every day, man. And I'm tired of it. Fortunately for y'all, you ain't got to listen to what I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all get the change.
Women cry first and hardest, men cry later and longest. Women internalize and address, Men distract and project. When a woman goes through a breakup, she does an entire rebrand of her entire life. She does a mood board, vision board, haircut, new job. She builds a life that she's deeply excited about. Now men, specifically avoidantly attached men, they actually feel relief in the beginning and they justify the breakup to avoid accountability, and they don't actually reflect where they went wrong. Because you have to understand that from a young age, men are not taught to prioritize relationships the way women are. Men are taught to prioritize their career, status, and making money. And so that's what he does. He throws himself into distractions, his work, dating apps, and surface level flings, really anything to avoid sitting with himself. He doesn't prioritize building a vision for his future. And a man without a vision will always return to his past lovers, his past behaviors, and eventually someone easier, someone who won't require him to change and become the best version of himself. At the time, he's okay with that, but eventually he's finally left with his thoughts, and that is when he begins to mourn the loss of the relationship and the loss of you. Because what he comes to realize is that replacing physical intimacy is very easy, but replacing emotional intimacy, specifically emotional intimacy that you have built over months, years, decades, you've gone through hardships with this person, that is much harder to replicate with another person.
And another reason is so many single dudes out here now too is because dudes are starting to realize like, it's not much in it for me. And once dudes started realizing that like it's not much in it for them compared to like what they gotta put out compared to what they're getting back, they just like, nah, like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna entertain it. And once a lot of dudes stopped doing certain things for women where it was like it wasn't too much in it for them, they wasn't getting like really no benefits from it, that's when women started saying like, who gonna be the boys? And men used to go to war and all this type of stuff, you know, like, yeah, like it's a different time period now. And like for the dudes thinking like that, they just became more selective. Like it's not even about not wanting to be in a relationship and stuff. It's like you just become more selective now on who you spending your time on and who you dealing with. You know, and that's another reason why too, like making pandering content is working so well. Because there's so many dudes now where they're starting to come to the realization that a lot of stuff in relationships just isn't beneficial. The dudes that pander so much, it left that room to pander to women now, and they could just build an entire following and a cult behind that. But regardless, when it comes to like dating and relationships and shit, like it's still subjective to each person, you know, like someone else might have better opportunities when it comes to dating and finding better men or better women, you know, but it's all subjective in the end.
She wants to wear the pants in the relationship, but she also wants a masculine man. She wants a man to lead, but villainizes him every time he does. If you want men to act masculine, you have to treat them like men. You can't lead every decision, control the relationship, and then wonder why you feel exhausted, irritated, and unsupported. Masculine men lead, they protect, they provide direction. But here's the issue, when men step into that role, many women villainize them. A man says, don't wear that tonight, and he's labeled controlling and insecure, when he's simply just protecting. A man says, I'm not okay with your attitude, and is called manipulative when he's just being clear about his expectations. A man says, I don't tolerate disrespect, and suddenly he's a narcissist, when in reality he's just practicing self-respect. This isn't oppression, this is just masculine leadership. Masculinity has been demonized so much that women want strong men but are not allowing strength. Control isn't femininity, it's wounded energy. It comes from fear, not power. If you don't trust a man to lead, that's a conversation to have, not a role to sabotage. You cannot emasculate a man and still expect him to show up as one. If you want a masculine partner, stop punishing masculine behavior and labeling it as these negative buzzwords, even when you're single. Let men lead, let men protect, and let them be men. Because what you honor grows, and what you attack disappears.
Men like women who play hard to get, not those who chase after them. Or rather, men like women who are able to create a sense of alternation. You see, to make a man fall in love, what you need is to know which alternations are right, when to use them, and when to try them out. Obviously, also showing the other man within the relationship. For example, situations or moments when you are present for him, and situations or moments when you withdraw and pull back. This constant alternation will be the recipe for creating something solid in the long term. Yes, do you understand? Good. Because being predictable and letting yourself be seen as predictable won't get you anywhere. Men will take advantage of you because they'll take you for granted and put you on the same level as all the other women. If the perceived value you have and that you convey to others isn't high, and you do this through strategies, you won't make it. You'll be a victim of the waves, strongly discouraged. That's it. So very simply, If you want to know how to do it, we've created a free opportunity. To access my mind for 14 days, you can comment below with Ask FP. We'll give you free access so you can judge for yourself.
So first off the bat, I don't know what that guy's talking about, but a lot of these modern women out here, he gonna get you in trouble. He gonna get you in trouble. There's a lot of terrible advice out here. He gonna get you in trouble. So be careful out there. You can do whatever you want, but he gonna get you in trouble. Number one. Number two, there was a clip where a woman was talking about when a woman breaks up, she cries first and she cries hardest. Men cry later and whatever it is. Once again, y'all want men to be miserable. Y'all want men to seem like, oh shoot, my world, I try to hold on without her. But everything's going wrong. No. It wasn't for me. That relationship, it went where it was supposed to go and it's over. If you want to cry, go ahead and cry. If you want to go out with the boys, go ahead. I don't care what you do, right? However you grieve a relationship is how you grieve it. Don't do anything crazy. When I say crazy, don't be stalking her. Don't be calling her or texting her. Don't do that. Right now, I do understand there are some instances where y'all had an argument and, there were just a misunderstanding. Y'all got upset and both of y'all need to sit down somewhere for a little bit. Y'all need to go talk to somebody, whether it's a therapist or one of your close friends, and they need to get you back on track. Man, I don't know what we were doing. Man, we almost missed our blessing. We broke up and sometimes that happens. But modern women, what you talking about? Well, I went and got a haircut. I did this. I did that. I'm building a life that I wanted. And all. No, you're trying to build a new identity. And what modern women try to do with this new identity is try to go get another man. It's essentially a subtle form of bossing up. I'm going to boss up on this man. I'm going to create a new me, this and that. And I'm a boss mate. You're going to get to the end of that road and men are not going to want you. Because you're not a real person. You're a persona. They're not going to want you. You might look nice, right? You got the revenge body going on and everything. Man, it looks fantastic. But it's only a skin. It's only, I don't want to say a facade, because she really believes that she's changing. But that's not really who you are. I know you've picked up a couple of skills, right? But you got some problems, man, and you need to fix those. Really. Like you guys are not, I don't know if you realize, modern women, you guys are not that great, right? You thinking that you're going to get something else, and look how it turned out for me. As we can see with the evidence, it turned out terribly.
Oh no, I just had to leave out this restaurant and come back to my car because I need a moment of clarification. Mind you, I'm on a date right now and I'm with this girl. We get here. Let me give you a little rundown. I just watched this girl order a mountain of unhealthy decisions. I'm talking about extra cheese, extra slices, bacon, and more, right? We get the drinks. We go over to the fountain. She's trying to get a refreshment. She looks at the refreshment. She goes, fills it up, does a taste test. Hits it, says this is flat, I don't like this. She asks the people to refill the Coke Zero. They tell her that the Coke Zero isn't going to be refilled till tomorrow. They're sorry, there's something wrong with the machine. They should have put out something. She looks at the machine, doesn't want any other refreshment. No water, no juice, no air, no ice, nothing. She goes back to the counter asking for a refund as if this was a team investment. Why the f you asking for my money back? I still want my food. Anyways, I started to get heated because she's going back and forth with the cashier, acting as if this is a debate. I'm getting a little uncomfortable. I leave to the car. I told her I'll be right back. I'm going to grab something like I left something in here. I'm not going back. Because if Coke Zero has you this far in your emotions, I'm not built for what the f happens when you got a real life problem. All right, God, I gotta quit using hands, bro.
We talk about the husbands and boyfriends of influencers because it gets to a point. This is something that's never been spoken about that I've wanted to talk about for so long because this whole Chrissy situation is my story. I'm literally going through divorce now because of infidelity, which I've shared on social media for the past year and a half. I don't even really want to speak about them because one, I don't know them, I don't follow them. I just know of them because I know that they're big on TikTok and stuff. It's just so crazy how, I guess I'm going to speak for myself, It is so crazy how my ex-husband was my biggest fan until he became my biggest hater.
People aren't jealous or hating on your success. A lot of times they hate who you became or how you started treating them after the success came. Now, I'm not saying that's the case in this situation. I don't know this person. I don't know her ex. But a lot of times women understand this dynamic when it's in reverse. How many times have we heard the story about how a wife was supportive of her husband as he was building a business and going through school, only for him to be completely invested into that new business? Now he's no longer available. Then someone happened to give her the right attention in the DM. She started flirting with someone at work. Now, in neither situation is an affair okay. But I think that people need to have a bigger conversation about how some people are investing in themselves and not into the relationship. It's very possible to do one and neglect the other, only to find out that once the success actually hits, that now the two of you have grown apart. So for those of you who are high achievers, especially if you're in content creation, make sure you're not only investing in your dreams, but also investing in the relationships around you, especially if that person is supportive.
There's one thing that drains a man faster than anything else in a relationship, and most women do it every single day without realizing. It's not about what you're saying. It's how you're saying it. The tone of voice. A lot of women don't realize they've stopped using that soft, warm voice with their man. Everything comes out sharp. Complaining about this, nagging about that, bringing up what he didn't do. When was the last time you said something genuinely positive? Not sarcastic, not backhanded, just appreciative. Most of the time, it's 90% critical and maybe 10% positive, if that. And then we wonder why he seems distant or checked out. That constant negativity. It's draining. Every man needs a place where he feels safe, respected, and welcomed, not spoken to, like he's already failed before he even tries. Because when a man feels valued, he naturally gives more, loves harder, and shows up better. And it brings out the version of him you always wanted. Your man craves your softness, your warmth. He needs to feel like you actually like him.
This is how you get that man to chase you without ever leaving your pedestal. Because girl, after all, you're the diamond. But you also got a little danger in you, and that's what keeps him hooked. Stay with me here. I'm going to give you 6 compliments that will literally rewire how he sees you. Hi, I'm Julia. I talk about mindset, dating, beauty, and the glow up. So if that's your thing, you don't want to scroll. So you want him to chase you? Girl, you got to stop acting like you're above flirting. Because the women that men get obsessed with, they flirt. They just don't overdo it. They don't perform. They just place things down on the table and let things happen. Let me show you what I mean. This is what you're going to say first. Number 1, I feel really calm around you. Now his nervous system is like, what? Wait, she's safe here. I'm safe here. And then he's going to start leaning in. Number 2, you're different. Congratulations. If you say that, you just unlocked his need to prove it. Number 3, I love how your mind works. Not his looks, not his biceps, not his abs, his brain. If you say that, you just separated yourself from the pack. Number 4, you're very intentional. I like that. Now he's thinking, oh yeah, and watch him become that for you. Number 5, you're trouble, but like the good kind. Now, if you say that, you've created tension with a little spark. We're flirting. We're not job interviewing here. Number 6, and this one's a little dangerous. I don't say this often, but I really enjoy you. Scarcity and warmth at the same time, that's what sticks. But here's where a lot of women tend to ruin it. They say all these wonderful things and then they hover like a helicopter mom. Don't do that. You're going to drop it and then you're going to go back to your life, whatever it was that you're doing. Get in, get out. Because a high value woman doesn't chase. She creates space to be chased. She knows how to pull someone in and let them come closer to her on their own. Now that's a difference. You're not here to convince that man. You're here to be experienced by him. And if you can master that, he's not just going to like you. He's going to be thinking about you long after you leave that room.
You want to know how you make a man change without begging or nagging? Then listen up. I know the story. You've told him 100 times. You've cried, you've explained, you've even threatened him to leave, and still nothing changes. That's because men don't change when you stay emotionally tied to his behavior. They will only change when you do the one thing most women avoid. And that's to stop reacting, to stop trying to prove to him that you are worth him changing for you. For example, you keep nagging your husband for never planning anything, and every weekend turns into an argument. But he doesn't even listen to you. He doesn't even take you seriously, because as long as you are complaining, All he knows is that you are busy with him. But from the moment that you stop reacting and you start to get busy with your own calendar, but without announcing it, without making a big deal out of it, because then you would still be reactive to him, that's when he starts to feel it, because your focus is no longer just all about him. So the only way your man is going to change is if you change, but not by changing what you say, but by changing what you do.
If a man disappears and then comes back months later like nothing happened, there are usually only 3 possible reasons. And I'm going to be honest about them. I know this because I've been that guy. When a man circles back after disappearing, most women assume something meaningful happened. Maybe he reflected and truly realized what he lost, but most of the time, it's much simpler than that. The first reason is loneliness. Time passes, and the excitement of other distractions fades, and suddenly the connection he once had with you starts to feel comforting again. So his curiosity kicks in, and he wonders if the door might still be open. The second reason is the other option didn't work out. Sometimes when a man disappears, it's because he was exploring another possibility. But when that situation ends, he remembers the connection he had before. So he circles back. And this isn't because he suddenly changed. It's simply because the alternative is now gone. The third reason is familiarity. He remembers that being with you felt easy. You liked him and welcomed him into your life with kindness and warmth. He misses that warmth. So he assumes that reaching out again will probably be safe. You gave him little resistance and his effort was low last time, so why not? But here's the important part. Coming back out of convenience is very different from coming back with real intention. So if a man disappears and then returns, don't immediately assume the story in your head is true. Instead, ask him one question. What made you reach out now? Don't ask it emotionally, just be clear. And then listen carefully. Because if his answer is vague or he avoids the question, then absolutely nothing has actually changed. A man who truly values the connection will be very clear about why he came back, and he'll show it through consistent actions why he returned. If this helped you see the pattern more clearly, the link in my bio explains why men come back in much more detail.
The shock that women have when their man finally walk out the door, most of the time a man will tell you, but you weren't trying to listen. A man just doesn't leave a relationship overnight. He ain't explaining himself. He just gonna go quiet. Men give us so many chances. We are so focused on ourselves that we don't even hear them. So here are 5 reasons that men have specifically told me of why they leave relationships. Number 1, a man gets tired of feeling unheard. He will bring things up to that woman about respect, communication, effort, and when nothing changes, he just stops repeating himself. Number 2, a man gets tired of explaining the same thing. At first, he's gonna talk, he's gonna repeat himself, but when he realizes that nothing he's saying is being taken seriously, he gonna stop talking and he gonna go mute. Number 3, he starts adjusting instead of arguing. Ain't no man gonna argue with no woman. Period. He's going to have less effort, less emotion, less engagement. And none of this is because he doesn't care. He just knows that arguing ain't going to change a thing. Number 4, he's going to mentally check out before he physically leaves. Yep, he's still there physically in the house, but he is not present. The realization of that is that the connection is gone. And most women do not notice it until it's too late. Number 5, he realizes his peace is more important.
You have a couple of clips in there where modern women, you just cannot listen to what they're talking about. You can't listen to what they're talking about. This is keeping these women in business. This is keeping these women in business. You're listening to what they say and they're telling you the wrong thing to do. Most of this stuff is common knowledge and stuff you've been doing anyway. I'm going to teach you how to flirt. Compliment him. What? I mean, with modern women, I guess you have to say that because they don't want to compliment a man. They don't care to really honestly and truly big a man up, to be supportive of a man, to respect a man. So I guess you would need coaching on something like that to get out of your own way. I mean, I feel like a good therapist would have told you that. So there's no need to go to a therapist and then go to a coach if the therapist is already telling you what you need to do, but you're not following it. If the therapist is already telling you what to do and you're paying $150 per session, what is a coach going to do differently? You know, your perspective it's just so rich. I can't believe. Yeah, you can't believe because you weren't trying to do it. That's the thing. These modern women out here, they don't want to do anything for a man. They go to you for coaching because they're trying to figure out how to, like the woman said, stay on their pedestal, but also get a man. I think I'm royalty, and I don't want to come down from my royal palace. You're not royalty. Just come down to be a normal person and see how far you get.
If a man doesn't like you enough to commit, because that's a big thing you need to distinguish, he can like you, but not like you enough to commit. There is no point sticking around if you know that he is going to play in your face. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to know if this is going to happen. And this test is so simplistic, it is so basic that you might underestimate its power, but it is going to keep you from ever getting trapped in a situationship. The test is simply this. See how consistent he is. If he is inconsistent, meaning you don't know if you're going to hear from him today or a week from today, or maybe he goes missing for a month on end. Inconsistency is a bright red flag that you cannot ignore. The reason why this is a red flag is because this man is in your life for selfish reasons. He's not there because he is genuinely into you. He is interested in what he can get from the situation. You see, there are a lot of things that men get from women. They can get validation. They can get emotional support. They can get affection. They can get the other thing. His reason for being there is not always because he is really into you and trying to see if there could be something. So when he gives himself away by being inconsistent, run for the hills. He is only popping up because he needs a fix. He is not trying to bond with you. He is not trying to develop the relationship further. So don't be flattered when he reaches out. He's just bored. He just wants validation. He's just horny. And never let a man try to explain away his absence. Even if the reasons that he gave you for not being in touch seem like they make sense, like they're justified, if this is happening on a regular basis, ask yourself this question. Do I want a man who doesn't have consistent time for me anyway? Let me know in the comments if you are dealing with a man who is inconsistent.
You can never, ever be a high-value man if your woman is accessible to other men. Your entire respect comes from the woman you choose to mother your children. If you choose loosely and you choose a woman that you would be upset to see your daughter grow up and become like, how can you be a high-value man if you cannot make high-value choices? If you can't select women properly, how can you expect to be a high-value man? Simply because you made 6 figures? You made 6 figures and you invested into women that didn't deserve your time or energy? High-value men have high-value standards. Your values have to be high in order to be high value, not your bank balance. Because if you're authentically proud of her, then you can't wait to have a daughter that behaves exactly like her. But if you're just proud of her when you walk into a room and people stare, but then privately she treats you badly, or privately you don't know if you can trust her or not, but publicly you feel really proud, that is a fake ego boost. That is not high value selection.
I know I'm about to make the Pick Me police real upset with this one, but let's go ahead and get into it. Ladies, it is perfectly fine and acceptable for you to ask a man on a date. What I'm saying is, when there is a gentleman that you are interested in, maybe y'all have engaged in a mild flirtation, maybe, y'all kind of been doing that little dance, and you want to spend a little time. Hey, it is perfectly fine and acceptable to say, hey, it's a movie I've been wanting to see. Would you like to go? I'll grab the tickets. Perfectly acceptable. What that also does is it makes you set apart, because most women aren't going to do that. Most women, what we're going to do, we'll like a guy and we'll sit down and just wait and wait and wait, maybe throw a hint or two, and then you'll be waiting for a long time. If I'm interested and I want to spend a little time, I don't have a problem being assertive. Notice I said assertive, not aggressive. But if we can take this biblical, if you just dare to, when you look at, everybody talks about Ruth and Boaz, but Ruth was pretty assertive when it came to, making the move on Boaz. She did her part and was assertive. There is nothing wrong with being assertive with the man that you are interested in. And so this is just for us to know, especially, I'm a little bit older. We don't have that kind of time to play. Does he like me? What he thinking? And a lot of times we got to stop acting like these men are mind readers. So I say, ladies, go for it. You be assertive, not aggressive. Be assertive and take that shot. Stop being scared and be assertive when it's a man that you are interested in.
I find it hilarious when girls get on this app and they're like,
Fellas, I do not regret to inform you the shift is happening. The tables are starting to turn. They are starting to use logic. View discretion advised.
I'm the no revenge. I have professional athletes in my DMs. Hey, so they're in everybody's DMs. That's cool and all, but we should not be using messages from professional athletes as validation because they message everybody.
That is exactly what we've been saying all of this time. Ladies, I am so proud of y'all. Y'all finally coming around the curve to understand just because you got somebody in your DMs, let alone an athlete or a celebrity of some sort, doesn't make you that girl. They are in everybody's DMs. They're trying to crack anything moving. The only time you can actually get credit is to be committed to by a man of true value. But the key word is commitment. He would truly have to display his commitment to you and you do the same thing in return. Now, if you can get him to do that and he's an athlete, now we're talking. We moving the sticks now. But when you got Offset, Odell Beckham Jr. and Stephon Diggs in your DM, that's not a flex. You're just a body they're waiting to cross off the list. There's nothing impressive about that. I'm going to say it like I've said it before. Commitment is the only flex you can have from a person of value. If they are not committing to you, it is not a flex. Don't even bother bringing it up because we're going to tear that argument apart. Yeah, keep the change.
If a man stops chasing, pay close attention.
Yep.
If a man stops chasing or stops texting first, do not get it twisted. That is not a game. That is not a manipulation tactic. That is a man who has finally realized his true value. He was not born distant. He used to be the one carrying the burden of the conversation alone. He replied instantly to people who took days to respond. He was always available, always ready. He bought the lie that if he just gave enough of his time, eventually he would be chosen. But he learned the hard way that people do not value what they get for free. He realized that being always there didn't make him important. It made him invisible. Even the most patient heart has a limit. He found peace in the silence that he never found in the chase. He stopped trying to force a connection because he realized you cannot beg for attention from people who do not want to give it. So he simply stopped making time for people who treat him like a second choice. They will say he changed, but he just stopped being the only one trying. He withdrew his attention, he closed the door, and he raised his standards. Do not blame him. He didn't ghost you. He outgrew you.
Women don't need 20 things from a man, just 3. Let me explain. Number 1, safety, not just physical, emotional safety. The kind where she can fall apart and know you're not going anywhere, where she doesn't have to filter her feelings or perform strength she doesn't have. That's where a woman opens up. That's where she softens. Number 2, consistency. Not grand gestures, not flowers once a year, just showing up the same way every single day. No hot and cold, no mixed signals, no love that disappears when life gets hard. Consistency is the language of love most men forget to speak. And number 3, being chosen. Openly, proudly, without hesitation. Not just in private, not just when it's convenient. She needs to feel like you'd pick her again, today, tomorrow, in every room she walks into, with you. When a woman feels safe, consistent, and chosen, she will love you in ways that will completely change your life. It's not complicated. Safety, consistency, being chosen, 3 things that change everything.
This is a hot take that I believe is actually not really a hot take. I do not want to date a man with children. Now, I'm not saying that I never will, but I only would under very, very special or very certain circumstances. I don't want to deal with your baby mama, Susan. I don't want a schedule that I have 0 control over. I don't want birthdays, holidays, and vacations revolving around a life that you've already built with someone else. Some real If we are building something together and there is income coming in, okay, I don't want that money going in 3 different directions before it even comes to me or to him. Okay, that money, when you have a kid, poof, gone straight to the kid. I do not want to be a stepmom. That is not a role that I am auditioning for. I don't want to raise kids that aren't mine. I don't want to navigate someone else's parenting style. If I'm raising children, I want to raise my own children. If I even want kids, I haven't fully decided on that yet. And if I do have kids, I want a man who's having children for the first time with me. I don't want someone who's already done the whole experience and then they're just doing it again, round 2. Oh, I've already done this before. No, it's no hate to single dads. It's just not what I'm signing up for. And like I said, I'm not saying 100% no. There could be someone that could change my mind, but it's kind of a no.
So now that you're saying all of that stuff, then when a man says it, now we understand each other. A man shouldn't have to go into some long dissertation or write a thesis as to why he feels the way that he feels about not dating single mothers or women with children. Now there's no question to be asked because we understand exactly why he wouldn't want to do that. I know we're going to get questioned about it because, well, I'm different, and it's different for me because I've had situations that I don't have control over, and this man did this to me, and I had to run out on him, and he forced me to have this kid, and I was just held against my will and all that other nonsense. But now that you're saying that, I hope we understand each other, right? And then there's another clip. It's talking about men being inconsistent. I think the thing that I would say there is, she said it was a bright red flag. It's not really a bright red flag. It's a red flag. And this is the problem that modern women are having. You're putting a bright red flag on a man that shows a pattern of inconsistency. It'd be one thing if not good in one area and I'm having an issue in another area, right? That'd be one thing. I'm pretty strong. This is one of my weak spots. Everybody has a weak spot. Everybody has like weak areas in their life that they have to work out. It's usually the partner that they pick that is better than them at those areas. That's usually how it works out in a lot of different instances, right? But the men that modern women are picking are incredibly unstable. They're incredibly unstable. And the women keep on looking at them and hoping that they change. Like, why? You're wasting your time. You're going to get mad at men for the stuff that you're doing.
What does a man need from a woman in a relationship? It is simpler than most people think. Most men are not naturally expressive, so they struggle to explain what they feel clearly. Because of that, they look for something that helps them feel safe without saying much. It shows up in how you respond when he is quiet, stressed, or not fully open. If he feels misunderstood, he closes off more instead of trying harder to explain. But if he feels understood, something shifts and his guard slowly starts to drop. He becomes more relaxed, less defensive, and more willing to let you into his world. You start seeing parts of him that he does not show easily to other people. It is not forced. It happens naturally when he feels accepted instead of judged. This is when he starts being more honest, more consistent, and more emotionally present. Understanding does not mean agreeing with everything. It means trying to see his side. Tone, timing, and patience matter more than saying the perfect words every time. When he trusts that you get him, he stops feeling like he has to protect himself. That is when real connection starts building deeper without pressure or confusion. What looks like distance before was often just hesitation, waiting for safety. And when he finally feels that, he opens up in a way that feels real and lasting.
Far too often, women give men the benefit of the doubt. But if a man acts like he doesn't like you, he probably doesn't. The kind of man that doesn't want to spend time with you, unnecessarily rough with you like he is with her. That last little shove really made my teeth itch. But some men who act like this, it's because this is how they really feel about you. And for that split second, they have to show you how much they don't like you. This is what I mean when I say that a man can lay next to you every single night, kiss you, mwah, on your forehead, and not like you. You can't ignore the clues. You watched that video back just like we did, and you saw what we saw. The disdain on his face, the unnecessary roughness. You should never want to be loved so badly that you would allow yourself to be mistreated in order to get it. This reminds me of a quote that I saw recently. Don't give the man the benefit of the doubt. You gotta doubt the benefit of the man. Because what was the point of having a man if he treats you like this?
Baby, I promise y'all, I just left a lounge where wasn't nobody in there but single black women dancing by themselves. It got so bad, I saw one woman go get the cook, a man, to go and dance two-step with her. Let me tell y'all something, ladies, specifically black women, because that's my community, right? Man, not only are y'all going against the design of God, but because you're going against the design of God, baby, you looking desperate. You're thirsty for water. And God is telling you to go to the land of milk and honey where you forgive, heal, and love men again. But you're being hard-headed. Y'all can have that. With y'all single behind, I'm going to the next spot.
My God.
Homegirl's been dating a dude maybe a month and a half. He's paying for the hotel. The hotel's about $700 a night. I was like, oh, you got your outfits ready? Did I? She was like, girl, I don't even know if I'm going on Tuesday. I was like, why? She was like, cause this get my flight to the Turks. And I'm like, but he got your flight back with you. You're flying from somewhere else. He's not flying with you. So she's like, yeah, but he planned the trip for us without getting my flight. And I'm like, bro, how much is the flight to get to the Turks from where you at? $380, right? So she lets him know. He's like, to be quite honest with you, it actually didn't cross my mind because I assumed we were booking our flights together. What I will tell you though, I'm very bothered by the fact that you wouldn't even jump on a plane to come for this trip I planned for us.
If your friend actually liked this, 380 it wouldn't have even been a thing. The real fact of the matter is she don't really like this.
That's not true.
Bro,
she's excited about him. Every post on her close friend.
I'm saying this is the root of.
When we started really arguing on the call, I'm like, you went through the whole group chat to tell us how great this guy is, how smart he is, how thoughtful. He got the hotel you wanted.
The
driver that you didn't need.
When a woman experiences something and really likes it, anything less than that is settling.
Why she ain't just ask for the flight?
It's because she don't really like him.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
That's not it, Mandy.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that might be it too.
Bro, get you a that's gonna do what you want.
And this why these hoes finna have nobody.
And it's okay to have nobody until the right one comes.
Why does the right one need to do every single thing? Okay, so this is how.
See, and this is why, you know, a lot of women will continue to remain and be single. Like, yo, this man really went out of his way to, you know, buy your flight. He say, look, I got you. Just, I want to see if you got a little bit of skin in the game. But you know what? I'm actually going to have to agree with her. I don't really think she like him like that. Because if she did, yeah, like she said, the 380 wouldn't be an issue.
She's testing you right now. And based on what most men do in this moment, you're about to fail it. She went quiet, or she pulled back, or she gave you shorter replies. And everything in you wants to fix it. Reach out, check in, ask if everything is okay. I get it, dog. It feels like the right move. But bro, that is the test. And the moment you reach, you fail. On some real shit, pimp, she's not ignoring you. She's watching what you do with the space that she created. Does he stay in his lane? Does he keep moving? Or does he need my attention to feel okay? The man who passes never shows her that he needed the reassurance. He goes silent. He goes back to his life, and she starts wondering. Don't reach out, brother. Don't send the everything good text. Let her sit in the silence that she created, and you go and build something in yours. That's how you pass that down. DM me VIP. We got a free Discord where we talk about like this every single day.
Had a guy say that women make relationships transactional. Well, are they not? Everything in life is transactional, not just relationships. Everything in life is transactional. You go to a job, you do a job, you get paid, right? That's a transaction. Your friend buys you a birthday gift on your birthday. Then when their birthday comes around, you get them a gift. That's transaction. Somebody showing you love, you showing them love back. Somebody smiles at you in the street, you smile back. Everything is transactional, whether we like to say it, admit it, acknowledge it or not. Everything is transactional. Everything in life is transactional. So let's that narrative about, oh, women want everything to be transactional. Why not? Why do you think that we're supposed to date you and not expect anything?
Men aren't actually dating anymore and they blame women. But what if I told you that your lack of effort in yourself is causing it? So here's what to focus on to 5x your dates. First, you don't look clean, you look fine. Showering isn't enough. If your space smells, your skin's dry, and your clothes look wrinkled, you're giving boy, not man. Your style has zero intention. Hoodie and joggers every day isn't a personality. I would wear fitted basics, neutral tones, and clean shoes. You don't need designer, you just need effort. You don't lead. You wait for her to choose the date, the restaurant, and the time. Be decisive. A woman wants a man with a plan. And lastly, you lack emotional awareness. If your only flirting strategy is being funny, you're already behind. Being calm, present, and listening is 10 times more attractive than trying to impress her. Remember, women want connection, not performance. And because
when a man says, I don't want a relationship, do not try to convince yourself otherwise. If there's one thing that men are pretty honest about when they're saying it, that you don't need to look any deeper into, is I don't want a relationship. 99.9% of the time. If a man says that, he is on serious regardless of anything else he does for you. Because a man who wants to be with you is not going to tell you, I don't want a relationship, I don't want anything serious, and risk losing you. That's not what he's going to do.
Unfortunately, I can understand your point of view and why you're thinking this way, but what you have to understand is how you speak then becomes your reality. What you say becomes what you endure. So if you keep enduring this, this is because of your selection in the men that you keep choosing. I've been on that side of the road, I crossed that street, and I will not think like that any longer because good men absolutely do exist. Trust me. Not all men cheat. The ones you choose were the cheaters.
Never beg a man to stay with you because I'll tell you exactly what happens when you do. I had a one-on-one session today and my client was devastated. Allie, why did he walk away so easily? Why didn't he fight for the relationship? Some of you think you are being abandoned when you are actually being freed of the biggest embarrassment of your life. When you beg a man to stay with you, two things happen. Number one is it's never a one-time occurrence. You think you're going to have one conversation. You're going to pour your heart out and all of a sudden he's going to realize what an amazing woman you are. No, he won't. Because a man who doesn't see your value is going to have to continue to be convinced, sold, and motivated to like you. The moment you stop being convenient for him, he's going to blame you and he's going to think, I didn't even want to deal with this woman to begin with. And second, he'll lose respect for you. He might not ever say it, but it will always come through in the way he treats you, in the way he completely disregards your emotional well-being, and eventually he'll be disgusted by you. Because the most attractive trait a person can have is self-respect. Never beg someone to choose you. If they want to leave, let them leave.
So one of the things I think she just said is a man is going to say something to the effect of, say for instance, you guys are going out. He says, okay, I'm not really feeling this. Then he says, let's break up. You say, no, please, we need to fight for the relationship. He says, okay. Later on, you get into basically the same argument, the same issue basically comes up and he says, I really didn't want to deal with this anyway. And that's why I think a lot of men try to deal with women knowing or fearing that this issue is going to come back up. And now you're seeing men walking away from dating because it's not worth it anymore. I know this issue. I used to sit up here and try to go back and forth and try to work it out. I'm not even going to get myself there. I know how I feel about a lot of things. And I think there was one clip in there talking about, men don't give effort. No, men give effort. Oh man, you're wearing hoodies and things of that nature. It's not the hoodies. It's not the hoodies. I think at the end of the day, when women like you, it don't really matter what you wear. Obviously, if you come outside, honestly and truly, I was going to say, if you come outside in your underwear, that'll be over the line. But if they like you, they're not going to care. Oh, girl, he came outside in his underwear. That lets me know that he's really close to me and he's comfortable with me. They will make up something and spin something off the top. That's just it. I think because a lot of time we talk about how men can improve themselves and what men are not doing. Yeah, okay, fine, go ahead. But I think a lot of times we sit up there and coddle and baby these modern women. And you have too many women on here talking about, oh, well, if he does this, then he don't really want you. If he says this, then he don't really want you. Stop getting played by him and all that other stuff. Y'all can talk about that until you're blue in the face. Usually, honestly, at the end of all that, oh, you're too good. What if they're not too good? What if, based on the way they've treated people in the past, that's karma? What if they're getting what they deserve? What if that's the case? But of course, we don't want to think about that.